We're back. Last in Class podcast here. Just want to do another Halloween video before Halloween hits us. So
Today we're going to be doing our top 5 favorite horror movies, and this time I'll let you go first.
that's right. I'll go first. And guys, I got my fedora on this time. So forgot it for the first video. It's here. All right. So my number 5 is the original 1996 Scream movie. This is one of the most important movies to me because it made me want to make film. And it just, at the time when I needed something to get out of my depression, it made me just gravitate towards film and wanting to write them, direct them, all this and that. So it was super original. It was funny. It was clever. It was scary to me at the time because I was only like 11. So I saw it at my friend's house when his parents were gone. My mom would not be happy if she knew that at the time. But Scream, just clever, funny, scary. This is my number 5.
Yeah. Definitely got to be on people's list, especially for people that like slasher movies. That's probably one of the best out there. I don't want to go too much into detail if you haven't seen it, but it has a really good twist in it. And like you said, the humor in it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
With my number 5, I'm going to go with The Nightmare on Elm Street.
classic.
Yep. It's the reason why I bring up 1984 a lot is because I feel like a lot of movies and music was awesome around that time. So I think the score for that movie was amazing. And I think it matches with Freddy Krueger a lot. He's just awesome in it. Funny, scary at the same
It was
time.
shot well. Wes Craven did a great job. First movie with Johnny Depp in it. So any Johnny Depp fans out there still, I don't know if there is anymore, but there we go.
Yep.
He used a lot of blood in that movie. I think it was like a record at the time.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'm not 100%. Either way, it was like thousands of gallons or something.
Dang.
All right. So my number 4, I'm a huge vampire guy, and my favorite vampire movie of all time, The Lost Boys. Yeah, it is a horror. I mean, it's kind of loose horror. It goes into like other stuff too, but the soundtrack's amazing. Just the teen feel, like you wish, this is one of those movies where I could wish I could see it again for the first time and just have the same emotions again. The vampires were different and cool designed. Like I said, the soundtrack, Joel Schumacher did a great job with that movie, and yeah, I watch it probably 2 or 3 times a year. So, Lost Boys number 4.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that out to me, and I had watched it for the first time, and it was actually
Oh
pretty
yeah,
amazing. Like you said, the soundtrack was amazing, and that definitely has like an '80s style feel through and throughout.
the
Um,
best part of the '80s.
yeah, for sure. And it's just a nice like teenager movie. Like who wouldn't want to go see Lost Boys? A perfect movie for that age
Yeah,
group.
it's definitely one of those movies I made you watch when you started working with me.
Okay, this might come to a shock to some people because I know some people hate it, but my number 4 is gonna be Get Out, and I know you haven't seen that, so I don't want to go
Nope,
into
haven't seen it.
too much into
No
detail for
spoilers.
that. Yeah, I definitely don't want to say too much, but the feel of that movie is awesome. You don't really know what's gonna happen throughout the movie, which makes you keep questioning what's gonna happen, and I kind of like the twist that they have, and plus it was Jordan Peele's first movie. I think his movies are actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the whole trilogy he's got out so far. I'm not sure if they're connected or not, but he's up to 3. Haven't seen any of them, so I'd like to sit down and watch them. My number 3 is probably it's the newest movie on my list, and that's The Conjuring. Conjuring to me is already instant classic. Uh, it's tough to get me scared during movies, and I still didn't get like super scared, but like it still gives me goosebumps and stuff, no matter how many times I watch it. My wife doesn't like watching it in the house anymore, even though she's seen it with me multiple times. Yeah, it's probably the last movie I saw in theaters. I was like, oh, that was just amazing, and I couldn't wait to see it again. Just creepy vibes. I know it's supposed to be based on a true story. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but just an amazing movie. I haven't seen it. Conjuring, it's probably the greatest like possession movie in my opinion. And yes, I'm including Exorcist on that list. So
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to double down on that. My number 3 is Conjuring also. Like you said, Bathsheba is basically like the main like possessed person in that.
super creepy,
Every time you see Bathsheba, it just gives you goosebumps every time. She is just so creepy.
especially when she's over the like when
Yeah,
she's laying
over
in the
like the
bed
over the cabinet thing or
over the
whatever
cabinet,
that
but then when
is.
she's laying in the bed earlier and she's just like hovering over her.
Oh, hovering over the mom. Oh, it's so creepy.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, there's definitely some original stuff in that, and it's probably the peak of the Conjuring universe for sure.
Yeah, it's the only one I actually really really like. So and me and my wife saw this in theaters like right after we moved into our own house. So then we're sitting in a home hearing like noises or like don't want to go in any room by ourselves because new house. So definitely have good things associated with that movie. All right, so my number 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. It'll always be on my top 10 favorite movies, no matter what genre. That is Return of the Living Dead.
Not surprised at all.
Not
one
surprised
bit.
at all. I watch this movie, I don't know how many times a year. I do have a Return of the Living Dead shirt, but, I guess I gained some weight because it doesn't fit anymore.
It's okay.
It's goofy. It's funny. It's the first zombie movie that ever associated zombies eating brains. So if you ever hear brains from zombies, you
Originated from that.
you have Return of the Living Dead to thank. Now they're 80s movies because 80s horror in particular was top game back then. All these like the punks hanging out, the how they're dressed, the soundtrack I have on vinyl now. It's amazing soundtrack, just the feel. There's no happy ending really. Of course, Linnea Quigley, come on, smoking hot in that movie.
Graveyard scene.
A graveyard scene, yep, very good scene. Yeah, if you like zombie movies or horror movies, if you've never seen Return of the Living Dead, definitely recommend it. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, definitely haven't seen it in a while, but I remember when I watched it, it was a pretty decent movie. I think it's a classic zombie movie. If you're looking for something just to watch, it's a nice horror movie to get to know what originated like from zombies. I think it's nice, scary at times, funny at times, and it's a nice movie.
For sure. What's your number 2, bud?
My number 2 is Scream.
Scream.
Scream. You always gotta like Scream. Ghostface is one of the greatest out there, and I don't want, like I said, I don't want to go into too much detail, but twist in it's pretty awesome. Actors are in it that's pretty good. I also like Skeet Ulrich was amazing as Billy. He was awesome, but I got to give a shout out to Stu.
Stu, Matthew Lillard.
Stu is the greatest character in Scream. He's freaking hilarious.
For sure. Still my number 1.
You could quote him. There's so many quotes from him, but Sydney is probably one of the greatest protagonists in any.
Yes, she is the greatest final girl in movie history. So
yeah,
you can never kill that character in the Scream franchise. If they do, I'm done with Scream. So,
all right, Mike, what's your number 1?
All right, to no one's surprise, and that is Halloween, 1978, the original, which they show half of in Scream, anyways. Iconic. How many movies, directors, actors did that movie inspire? The lighting is brilliant. The atmosphere, the music. Michael Myers, the greatest icon ever created. Just a perfect movie. I mean, it's not too much more to add to it. If you've seen it, you already know. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
go watch it.
It's awesome. It definitely around Halloween time, it gives you that really creepy vibe, especially with Halloween music and stuff. The score on that is amazing.
Yeah, around before I had a life and like a wife and everything like that. And it was the Halloween franchise was up to 8 movies, but I didn't watch 3 back then. I would sit down every Halloween and watch Halloween 1 through 8, except for number 3, and eat half a pound of Reese's Pieces. I no longer do that, even though I look like I do, but love it.
And my number 1, out of everybody's surprise, is Saw.
I didn't see that one coming.
Did you? Or did you not?
Of course I did. So called sarcasm, my friend.
Yeah. I saw this movie probably about like 4 or 5 years ago, and ever since then, it's been always my top movie. I don't think a movie has ever surprised me as much as that one. It definitely has a very creepy vibe to it, and you don't really know what's gonna happen. But the twist in it just took me away and made me love this movie a lot. I think it's funny that the writer in it was actually in the movie as Adam.
Oh yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. I don't really see that a lot in movies, but
well, it was very low budget at the time.
That's true.
But I remember if anyone remember Fangoria magazine, they had all the upcoming horror movies and stuff like that, and they had a article on Saw, and that's when I first saw it, and that was like my prime movie loving stuff.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to see it. Got to see it in theaters like opening weekend, and back then I thought I knew everything about movies, and twists got me too. I predicted the movie in the first 10 minutes. And I thought I was right. I was wrong. And I just wanted to stand up and applaud. I didn't because, that's embarrassing. But, yeah, so I think we got a pretty good list here.
Yeah, I think my list's pretty solid.
I mean, ask me tomorrow, and my top 5 might be different. Return's always going to be there. Halloween. Some of the other stuff might go up and down. But, so, thanks, guys, for watching. Tyler, where can they get us at?
You can check us up on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Last in Class.
All right, happy Halloween, guys.
Make sure you give us your top 5 in the comments.